into TCU.
Touched on our opinions of the AP Top 25, right?
Yeah.
We talked about how just straight up garbage it is.
Yeah.
So, what I'd like to do right now is not go full top 25. Let's talk maybe top 5 into the top 10 teams in our minds coming into this week. Now,
Does this include teams that haven't played?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
you would do top 10?
Let's go top 10.
Let's do top 10.
Right now, for those of you that don't know, Georgia, I got the shirt on right now. They are my fallback number 2. I support them kind of half-heartedly. I don't not as in tune with what's going on over there. But I picked against them this week after their first week showing, and they showed it today. They deserved that number 4 spot, and I'm happy with that. So my top 5 starting out. Let's start off with the top 5. Clemson, I think, is clear cut. They maintained that number 1 spot, putting up a 41 spot on Virginia, who's expected to be in that middle upper tier of the ACC conference. I think they are your clear cut number 1 until they fall, until they lose. They lose a tight one or they win a tight one to a team that they shouldn't have any struggles with. Number 2 has got to be Alabama.
Yeah.
They dominated the number 13 ranked team in the nation in Texas A&M. I mean, that was not Texas A&M had a little bit of momentum early, but Bama's talent took over.
Yeah.
Number 3 has got to be Georgia for me right now. Georgia is going to take over that number 3 spot for me. Number 4, I will give to the Ohio State Buckeyes. For even though they haven't played yet, I think that's got to be with the talent that Ohio State has and just the schedule that they're going to have. That's for me. That's where they have to be. Number 5. I'm going to go ahead and put the U at number 5. I think this next week is going to be the week where they're going to have to show up and make their statement. We belong in this conversation. We belong to be on the same field with Clemson at the top of college football. We have the talent to do it. We have the coaching to do it. And I'm not saying that they're going to win, but I think next week they're going to show that they are on that same level. I think it's going to be a competitive ball game, and Miami is, as of right now, my number 5 team in the nation. So, Darby, give me your top 5 starting now.
Well, I'm not even putting them in my top 5, so I'm fucking excited. So actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip through 1 and 2. I think everybody can agree. Clemson and Alabama are in the top 2.
Yeah.
But I'm going Ohio State number 3. So if I'm gonna say, and I'm just going off, considering I'm like the AP top 25 here, where this is my first week entering Ohio State into my top 25. Ohio State takes my 3rd spot because to me, if I ask myself, and I ask almost anybody, who's your top 3, regardless of who's played and who hasn't played, give me a top 3. Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and I think it's without question. Now, until they start playing, I'm going to start regressing them because they're not playing. But to start them in my first week of having a rankings, I think without a doubt they're our top 3 team.
Yeah.
And I could argue that they are the best team in the country, but I'm not going to go there right now.
We all could argue. My reasoning is they haven't played yet. So and with the performance Georgia just put up, I think that is deserving of having that spot.
And then Georgia's my 4th spot. I thought Georgia proved a lot. I did pick them to win. I didn't expect them to win as dominant as they did. And then my 5th spot actually goes to Florida. I thought Florida showed out. I thought, Kyle Pitts is showing to be I've been on the Brevin Jordan hype train, but he's starting to prove to be the best tight end in the country. Of course, they do feed him the ball. He is their offense.
That is
I think
entirety.
the only argument that Brevin has over him is that he isn't our whole offense, and that we target him not out of necessity, but because we can. But to me, I think Florida is definitely my 5th team, and then hopefully we can keep going into the top 10. But I'll go ahead and give me your top 5.
I'm going to have a slight hot take. All right, so going into it, I'm going to go ahead and first off immediately agree with you about the first 3. Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State. First 3, that's kind of my set in stone idea of what I see going into it. Now, I think Auburn was overrated, so I don't take Georgia's win today too highly.
Okay.
I think Auburn's been slightly overrated.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think that win
Even though
over.
they were my dark horse.
I know,
Like,
but I agree.
yeah,
you know
like-
my thoughts on
Like
Auburn.
I'm sitting there looking at Auburn, like, what have they done in the past 2 years? Like, what have they like? Have they changed anything crazy? Like,
No, they're your standard Auburn team under
I
Gus
think they're
Malzahn.
fucking overrated. So Georgia's win today, I don't think should change too much about how they are as a football team. Now, are they a good football team? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have they had a lot of issues? Yeah. Like, did they perform? Now, given how they performed today, though, hopefully that brought some unity. Maybe they fixed some things because we heard about a lot of the talk that was going on with them previously.
Yeah.
About their football team, their quarterback situation, everything that was going on. You know, players talking shit about the coaches, everything.
The
Like,
racism.
the racism, all this shit. Like,
allegations.
fucking, it was nuts. So I think Georgia is not. I don't think Georgia's in the top 5. I think Miami's number 4. I think Miami's ready to fucking play.
Yeah.
I think Miami came to fucking play.
Who's your number
I'm
5?
excited. And you guys fucking number 5. I'm picking the fucking Bearcats, baby. Let's
No,
fucking go.
bro.
Oh my god.
All right, fine.
No.
I'm kidding.
Realistic, not top
fine.
5.
Realistic. All right, fine. I won't be fucking ridiculous. Fine. All right. Shit. All right. Number 5. Let me think about this just a little bit harder.
Who's
I'm gonna
fucking
have
around
to-
over there?
I just want a blanket.
I'm gonna pick
Sorry.
Florida Gators.
Okay.
All right, I can respect
Because
that.
you cannot put the Bearcats at number 5 with how
No,
Florida's performing.
absolutely not. You're right.
So-
100% not. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
I
can-
just like I'm gonna give you a hot take. Like fuck it, I don't care. And then like I said, how many of these? I don't know.
Yeah,
We're up there.
we're a little bit
A
in.
lot of caffeine from all these bush lattes.
Fresh out of the bar right here. So that is.
Are we gonna round out our top 10? Do you want to go
Yes.
keep going through?
Ah,
Come
so
on.
this is going to be difficult for all of us. So
I got this.
coming at number 6, that's where I have Florida. I have a lot of concerns about Florida. Obviously, they are a good football team, but they need some other guys in the offense to show up. It can't only be Pitts, because a team with a good defensive coordinator and the talent to do so, they're going to bracket him and they are going to shut him down. They are going to have him doubled all damn day, and your offense won't be able to flow through one guy. That's just plain and
Well,
simple.
and Tony kind of showed up too. I will
Yeah.
give him that. Tony
And
did show
he
up.
had a hell of a fucking
Yeah.
touchdown. So, Florida's my number 6. As of right now, Notre Dame will be my number 7. Okay?
they're a solid football team.
And going based off of my predictions of what I think will happen in the Big Ten, Minnesota.
Oh.
Minnesota at 8. Penn State at 9.
Well, so let me tell you, because I understand you're basing that off of your predictions,
Yes.
but would you, as of right now,
I think Minnesota has all the talent in the world, and I think they're a more complete team than Penn State is.
I'm surprised to start them off there.
Okay, so that's my 8 and 9, and rounding out my top 10 would have been UCF, but fucking not anymore. I'm going with North Carolina to round out the top 10. I would go Oregon, but I don't have faith in Pac-12 teams. I don't think that they're going to they're starting later than the Big Ten is, and I don't think there's going to be anything there. So I'm going to round out with North Carolina.
Wow. So I guess I'll take next. With my top 5 being Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, Florida, and Georgia. My 6th ranked team is Miami. I think we're just outside the top 5. I want us to prove it next week, but I just think that with the performances we've had, that we've shown that we've been dominating our competition, regardless of how you feel about that competition. We're one of the only teams this year that's really truly dominated every opponent we faced.
You've dominated and played well in the games you're supposed to.
Exactly. So hopefully we might prove to be better. My 7th team is where you're going to completely disagree with me.
Oh God.
I'm going Oregon. I think Oregon's a loaded team. I get the Pac-12 argument, but I think they're a loaded team, and talent-wise, I see them being there, fitting right into that 7th spot. I think the AP's been railroading them for absolutely no reason. I don't understand why they have them at 14th starting out. Now, like I said with Ohio State, the longer they don't play, the farther they're going to drop. But to start them out, as of right now, I would love to see them. They should be up by near the top 5.
Well, what were they in the preseason? Let's take a look before everything canceled. They were sitting at 9 in the preseason. So,
Yeah, because personally, I think I'm not that big on the Penn State.
neither am I.
Especially after losing Micah Parsons, I'm not that big on Penn State's that team where every year I have to sit there and say, prove it.
And that's why I
Prove
think
it.
Minnesota is going to. I have Minnesota higher than Penn
Well,
State.
and Penn State never does to me. They're a big preseason hype train that never succeeds. That's James Franklin's career. But so I want to say Oregon 7th. Then I'm going Notre Dame 8th. I just haven't been that sold on on the 2 wins they had. They haven't shown to me that they're this clear-cut number 2 in the ACC that everyone, like the media, likes to portray. And then that 9th spot's a hard one for me. It really is a hard one for me.
I can help you out with it.
You know, I have to. I'm not yet. You know, just giving, and I want to, because I want to see how Minnesota does. I have to give my 9th spot to Cincinnati.
No,
I do.
No,
I think because UCF's about to fall, Texas fell, Auburn fell. I'm telling you that North Carolina is overhyped, and I feel like Cincinnati has taken care of business better than North Carolina has. But North Carolina is gonna be my 10th team.
Okay.
I just think Cincinnati is a better team than North Carolina. I understand that they might have struggled, these first 2 games. And by struggle, they won 28-7 over South Florida. Which I get that everybody expected to be a bigger blowout, but it's 28-7 against their own conference opponent. I just think that North Carolina coming out and barely beating Boston College by 4 points. I understand that we want to go that Boston College has exceeded expectations, but North Carolina, to be a top 10 team, shouldn't beat Boston College by 4 points.
I think Boston College still. My issue with Cincinnati is the performance of your quarterback first and foremost, and then the constant mistakes. They've made mistakes that have shot themselves in the foot every game they played, and if you want to be a top 10 team, you cannot make those mistakes. And the reason I have North Carolina higher is not necessarily I think they're a more talented team, but they're by far a cleaner football team. They don't make the self-inflicting wounds that Cincinnati does.
Well, no, I understand that, but to me, North Carolina is just barely, they barely escaped this week, and they put a very underwhelming performance week 1 or week 2. And Cincinnati, regardless of how you feel about taking care of business or cleaning up their play, they've taken care of business.
Yeah.
They haven't had that close call.
But this is where we always kind of, you and I always differ on our viewpoints on these. But I want to get Luke's rounded out top 10.
Okay, all right. I put this together. I had to think about it while you guys were talking. This entire time I've been looking at my phone, like really go in depth with this.
UCF just lost, by the way.
Really?
I think they did.
Fucking
Did they?
no
do we
way.
do we have the scores up here?
No.
Because last I checked, they were
fucking
losing by
way.
5. Or did they pull it off?
Let's see. Nope.
Nope, they
34-26. Tulsa beats UCF.
That's what. Cincinnati, buddy.
Okay, you're right. I'm going to do that then. God, that's ballsy still, but fuck it.
Dude, it ain't. It really
It's
ain't
not-
that ballsy.
it ain't 'cause we can
I
still
understand
You're-
you think
you're-
it is, but you're right.
Cincinnati is ranked 15th.
Everybody
currently.
that is like above you has pretty much lost.
Yeah.
So
Only because we've played, I'm going to do this. Because there's teams that haven't. All right,
let me put
just-
this
all right.
for you. All right, so Cincinnati in the latest AP poll was ranked 15th. A&M lost. UCF lost. Texas lost.
Auburn lost.
Auburn lost.
And then Penn State hasn't played.
Penn State hasn't played. Ohio State hasn't played.
UNC struggled.
Oregon hasn't played. So I
It's
I
not
can,
out of
I
the
can
question,
understand
dude.
it. I just don't like it personally.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right. Here we go. Number 6, I got Notre Dame.
Okay.
Number 7, I got Georgia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Number 8, I got LSU.
Oh, no.
What?
I'm still putting them there.
How?
Because my next 2 teams I'm going to list, I think LSU would beat them still. Well, I don't know. One hasn't played yet, so that's why I'm still holding it back. Because my number 9 is Minnesota. They haven't played. We don't know.
Yeah.
10 is UC.
Okay.
But I think
just don't
I think
see-
LSU beats Minnesota and UC right now. I haven't seen Minnesota play. I think Georgia would beat LSU. I think Notre Dame would beat LSU. That's just
Yeah.
how I'm looking at this
Okay.
going down the charts and based off of the wins and the losses for today.
I can agree with the logic.
UC wouldn't beat any of these teams right now.
No. Well, they may beat
Minnesota,
LSU, honestly.
Minnesota, we have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
We can't tell.
No.
LSU would not beat Georgia and Notre Dame. I think LSU. We don't know about Minnesota still, so that's why I'm keeping
Yeah.
them number 9. LSU would definitely beat our team right now.
Okay.
Georgia would beat LSU, Minnesota, UC. Notre Dame would beat all of them, I think.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
I can agree with the logic 100%.
That's how I
I
look
don't
at it.
agree with the placement, but
don't
I
either,
agree with the
but
logic.
I understand where
Okay,
you're coming
yes.
from.
now there's plenty of other teams that we could be looking at in terms of all of this, but then there's also plenty of teams that have still lost and won some crazy games.
Yes.
So, and I already told you, like, I had my teams in my first 5, but that's how I'm going to leave it, right then and there. So, I'm
Okay.
actually going to go ahead and just build this entire thing now that I've got this all put together.